What kind of drove those families to start investing more into the stock market instead of the typical, gold market that we usually saw?
I think the government had something to do with it, that they were clear that India had this amazing opportunity in these dramatic development needs, and that could be more easily achieved if people were investing their money in the stock market or life insurance or even putting it in the bank than putting it in a physical asset like gold or land or proverbially under the mattress. So they tried to make it easier to invest in the stock market, and they did. Now if you want to open a mutual fund account, you can do that on your phone. If you remember in days of old, it was form after form and this, your ration card and this card, and they made it a little harder to invest in other things. And at the same time, other countries have done the same thing. The results in India were really different, I think, because people have become really excited about the future of their country. And they are voting with their wallets to be part of it.
That's great. And so in terms of financial literacy with these families that are more investing now, where can they kind of go to get more education on where and how to invest?
So I will start by saying it's not really my world because all of our investment comes from global institutions. Yesterday, the CEO of the National Stock Exchange was here, and he talked about all the advertising they do to educate people, and I think the Mutual Fund Association does advertising as well. But I think one aspect is becoming well educated, and the other is just thinking a little bit about risk. The Indian stock market has been on a tear these last few years, and it's been a lot of fun, but like anything, what goes up can also go down. So I guess the education that's most important is the education you tell people in the US or anywhere else. Only invest what you can afford to use and don't put it all in one place.
Okay. And so what challenges do investors face when navigating India's financial ecosystem, and how do you think they can be addressed?
So I think one opportunity is also a challenge, which is there are so many companies to choose from, and because there are so many, it means the amount of information that's easily available about any one company at any one time is not necessarily that high, especially thoughtful analysis that someone says, I've really considered this company and here's why I like it or I don't like it. There's a little bit less of that. And one way it's been addressed is that a lot of this investment has come in the form of SIPs, systematic investment plans, and it's gone into mutual funds that are professionally managed. I think that too is going to take a little while for investors to determine which are the ones that are really good and which are the ones that are less good, and there may be some teething pains along the way, but my expectation is in time that a cadre will emerge of very, very good managers of domestic Indian household money that are going to do really well for those investors and for the market too.
That's great. So in that case, kind of going on the opposite side from investors to the actual entrepreneurs, for entrepreneurs looking to attract that investment, what key factors should they really be focusing on to make their businesses more appealing to these household investors?
So everything we look at, these are companies that are already listed, they're already publicly traded, and some of them do a great job of making what they do readily understandable to either investors like me or household investors. In some of them, probably not so much. That we encounter companies that historically haven't thought to appear at conferences like these, or to, after their financial year is over, to give a conference call or a press conference and answer questions. And they're all beginning to get a little bit better about it. And that's one aspect, that's communications. The more important aspect is the substance, that ultimately, if these companies are being run in a thoughtful, responsible way that uses the capital of these shareholders, who are, after all, hardworking Indian families, thoughtfully in a way that's going to achieve a return for them over time, that's the most important thing. And that describes a lot of Indian companies, maybe not every company, whether it's India or anywhere else in the world, but that's the gold standard.
That's great. So, Mr. Tennebaum, thank you for sharing your valuable insights with S4 Media today, and thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.